And so Daryl, try to get him on.
Your mic sounds hollow.
Testing, 1, 2, testing.
Like in a big hall.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't sound like the first time we was on the phone. Something changed. What you do?
Let me see what mic I chose.
It's like in a big hall and
testing, 1, 2, testing. Is that any different? Testing, 1, 2, testing.
A little bit different. A little bit better. It doesn't sound too tunnel.
Mic. Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
All right.
All right, let me.
Now,
I'm trying to get Daryl, the other gentleman, Daryl, on.
okay. Because we got to jump in there in less than 3 minutes because they're going to delete the video, the feed.
I mean, we were told 3:15. Now they pushing it up. Joe on now.
She started the feed. I didn't know she was going to do that. So she started it.
Can you play a video first?
Yeah.
Yep. Torpedo pot. Make sure it's a torpedo pot video.
Right. Got you. Got it. All right. Let's see.
Hey.
All right. So great. Stream it now.
Hey guys, this is Daryl Addison at TORPEDOPOT.com. Daryl Addison at TORPEDOPOT.com. We make self-growing planters. You know, this is beautiful. We have our fiddle. We have our tea, camel milk, more fiddle, onions, and camel milk. When our neighbors come, they break pieces off of it and carry it home. This is strictly for my neighbors when they come to taste the difference between what you're getting in the supermarket and what they're getting someplace else. So this is really a teaser before you start walking into our garden. And this is fully automated, okay? It grows all by itself. It doesn't need you to grow it, okay? You have all the tools you need to make your adjustments to cause this to grow on its own. It's been growing on its own, I think, for about, I don't know, 2 months, 2.5 months. Since I set it up, I had one problem with it, and that is, and you can see because normally you shouldn't see death on any of your plants, okay? If you see death, if it's not part of the normal life cycle goes through, you need to take a look at it. This period right here, this death that you see, And in this pen right here, I was going to cut it off and make it look great for you. But I think you need to know how these pens work. This is when the water, I cut it off. I turned the knob and didn't set it for, in this case, I think for every, I think for every 2 hours, it's watering for 1 minute. It's like dripping out for 1 minute. It's feeding them nutrients and things and allowing the microbial colonies to build every minute, and they enjoy it. But it's been running on its own. I haven't had to do anything at all. But the depth you see is because at that time the water setting was too low, and I made a mistake. As you can see, there's no leaking water all over the place because now it cuts on when I want it. Now, these are on a line with other bigger pots, which you will see, okay? Let me show it to you right now. So this is on a line with other major pots. They're on a line with the hanging baskets, and I think there's 5 of those. So they're on the same line together. And on a line with the cabbage, and with the other plants that we have here, Swiss chard, colibari, and 2 big kale, and some lettuce. So it's on a line with all of these, okay? And so all of these are competing with water, and that's why I want you to understand. That's why you have that dowel in the front of your planter, because I get to keep each plant, or get to give each plant exactly what it needs. You don't give it any more, you don't give it any less. Give it what it needs. And that plant will be extremely happy. It will present and give back to you tremendous growth. Tremendous, tremendous growth. And health that you couldn't buy at the drugstore. This planter has the possibility of changing your life. Look what it did to this. I had this sitting in the back of the house for about 1.5 years before I developed my signature series torpedo pots. And that's a lilac. I had no idea what it was doing. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know anything about it. And then about 2.5 months ago, I put it in this torpedo pot. And let me tell you something. I love food, and I want my food in my planters. But this lilac smelled so good, I'm afraid to touch it. It had become so acclimated to the environment, and it is doing really, 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 really well. Really, 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 really well. I'm so excited what the torpedo pot can do. And look at the new growth. Now, remember, you're seeing new growth from all these things because our soils are contaminated. And so the soil isn't giving its true robustness a transfer over to the plant itself. And so our plants are getting a nutrient deficient or environmental deficient or poisoning. And so they can't develop correctly. And that's why we have the torpedo pot. It helps your plants develop correctly. Okay? So I want to show you this also since we're here. These are our little small hummers. And of course I have flat parsley. I have our favorite tea, right? And what you guys should know, I've already talked about it. You tell me what it is. And then I have our curled parsley. And these are our 2 pots, one with the mint. And we do all types of mint. And yes, that's chamomile. Thank you for being patient when I tried to explain it that way. And so, again, you can see I had problems with my planters. I had these planters, these small planters right here, on the same line as this lilac and everything else downstream. And I realized I have all these plants connected. And because that line was going so long, it was very hard for it to pump water out for itself. So we put them on their own line, and they have their own watering schedule. I think for every hour, they might water for 1 minute. And it's perfect for the mint because they consume a lot of water. Look, you see the water running down by itself, and they're perfectly. I found that perfect mix for these plants. All of them have adjustments on top of it. And you're going to get yours. These are just demos again. Yours comes in smaller pieces, and you can build it up as you like. Okay? So we're trying to build more restrictions into them because we realize that people can get hurt because these grow so much food that we know they're going to push them to the limit. Darryl Addison, TORPEDOPOT.com. Darryl Addison at TORPEDOPOT.com.
All righty. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. That looks interesting.
Hi, guys.
Let me
My
turn
name is
this on.
Darryl Addison.
Okay, you got another video in there, but that looks interesting. And I'm a plant man. I've never seen anything like that before.
So Chris, I just want to jump in quickly. I'm just so excited today to have good brother Darryl Addison on. Just a phenomenal business owner, a phenomenal manufacturer. This is just such an incredible product that he has, his genius has brought forth into the world. And then it has a particular place that it can help the Black community and help it through iBuyBlack. So I'm just so excited for this this conversation. And I've actually known Darryl for some years. He's actually from the tech industry. So it's just something about nerds. We just do some mighty things.
Yeah.
So Darryl, if you could just tell us, and I don't want to, I know this is your thing, Chris.
No, you take this one. I've been talking for the last 5 shows. I'm tired, man. So I'm going to drink some water right now.
Listen, I understand. I understand. So Darryl, if you could tell us, like, what made you come up with this idea? I'm not hearing any sound.
He's on mute. He's on his side.
I guess he gave up all his tech skills for the farming. Can you hear us yet, Darryl?
Yeah, that should be good, right?
There you go.
All right. Yeah, I guess I did. But I thank for an opportunity. First of all, Joe, I want to thank you for meeting you as a person. You're driven, and it drives me, and I'm so inspired to be working with you. But your question was about Torpedo Pot. I couldn't hear you. Could you explain it again, please? Say it again.
Sure. I was how did you get this idea? How did you get the idea of Torpedo Pot?
The idea of Torpedo Pot, it started in my own garden. It started because I realized that I could no longer garden and feed myself in the ground because it takes too much room to plant tomatoes. I mean, just think about it. Every 2 feet, you have to plant a tomato plant. You got to dig it up. The average homeowner spends $400 a year trying to build their garden. And not only is that, and they only get like 5 tomatoes back out of it. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
So
expensive tomatoes.
Well, and that's what happens. When we do an inventory, how much water we spend, soil we bring in, time we spend to watch these things grow, we begin to see that it's no longer productive. And the reason is why, because we contaminated that soil. So anyhow, I did it. I wanted to grow food. I love to grow. I love to cook. And I wanted the freedom. I didn't have the freedom to eat what I wanted to eat when I want to eat it. I couldn't go to the supermarket and afford, even if I bought food at the supermarket, it wasn't healthy food. And I realized this has got to stop. There's a market for this. And thus started the development of the Torpedo Pot. It started with myself. Then I realized that it could apply to so many other people. And so I said, listen, now that I have step 1, my family, 2, my neighborhood, 3, the rest of the world. And that's what Torpedo Pot is. It's trying to feed the world.
Wow. That's an incredible and ambitious mission. But the thing about it is that from what you've created, it's doable. So it's not pie in the sky. This is a practical application to address a tremendous problem.
But can I say something, Joe?
Absolutely.
Because you said you're right, it's doable. But one of the keys that enable us to do what we need to do together, because it's only doable because I'm connecting with you and you're connecting with me. Once we start to put this puzzle together, that's how businesses are formed. That's how they develop. But yeah, that was a good point you brought up.
So and since you brought that to the forefront, I'm going to announce, and this will be our world premiere announcement, that iBuyBlack is now an authorized retailer for the Torpedo Pot products. So on the iBuyBlack site, you could simply go there and do a search for Torpedo Pot. You'll be able to find all the different inventory products that Daryl and his company has manufactured. And we also have a good inventory of videos and the new installation manual that you produce, so that folks can really see how this is done, and they don't waste their time and waste their resources and things like that. So so this is a great joint venture that we were able to do our small part in just helping you to sell your fantastic product. I mean, this is just such a great thing. I just took some quick notes. I just want to just mention, the intersectionality of what you have brought to the market. You have you've created a Black business, number one. You are empowering Black farmers and urban farmers. You are addressing the food deserts, which we have many of here in the city of Philadelphia. You have created a manufacturing company. You have enabled retail. So iBuyBlack is now serving as a retail outlet. You have tapped into the cannabis market. And lastly, you have created an opportunity for those who are involved in the lawn and gardening business for installation services, those professional services that come out of that. So out of this one idea, you've birthed an industry.
Can I add one more to your list?
Absolutely.
And you know about this, and I'm just refreshing you because I'm afraid you're going to take my job. But but what's last and least, and which you know about, is the agricultural blockchain.
Yes. So could you explain to the audience the agriculture blockchain?
Someone told me 2 days ago, so Mr. Addison, if you could explain the agriculture blockchain in just 1 minute, how would you say it? Because it deals with software, it deals with hardware, and it deals with connectivity, rather be postal issues. It brings all of this together in one source. So now all you have to do is trade your goods and services globally across seas without having to pay the middleman all of that money. So if you're growing potatoes in Africa and you're growing it for less pennies on the dollar, I think someone in the United States would like to buy those potatoes from you. And I think those who are growing genetic breeds of cannabis and all the research and development that's done in the United States, we can share that with our friends across seas and build relationships. We're tearing down that middle wall. It's called the agricultural blockchain. It's a bridge between us and the rest of the world. And the rest of the world, partly that we're building with, is Africa. That's
wonderful. That is absolutely needed. That is incredible. And through relationships like this is how we get to freedom. Yeah. That elusive struggle that our ancestors have been fighting for ever since they were brought here. Yeah. And we've been forced to be in this country at this point, and so now we call it home. But even with us calling it home, we know there's plenty of places that still do not look at us like citizens. And so how do we bring some equality to it. And one thing that I've learned in my life is that it's hard for someone to discriminate and hate you when they have to spend money with you every month. You know, it's kind of hard to hate the people that you keep giving your money to.
True, very true.
And we just don't have enough businesses like Torpedo Pot that makes everyone buy from it. And it's nothing to do with your race or anything like that. It's just such an incredible product that has transformed the way folks grow. So tell us about urban farming. How are you impacting the urban farming movement?
You know, it's a funny thing about the resilience of people who are struggling. They seem to come out on top. And I think, you know, let's go back to Harlem. Harlem was a combination of Black experts and Black workers to build a complete society. They worked together in unison. It was like an ecosystem. It was a trust system in which they were able to survive and to do what they need to do, and even the roughest times. And I think we've been given an opportunity to live in this country. I look at this country as a gift, as rough as it was to everybody who participated. They all were considered dogs, and our slavery has been terrible. But now we are doing what Joel just talked about. Our 1960 ancestors have been fighting for civil rights in the 70s and 80s and 50s and all these things that took place as you move on forward. Now we get an opportunity to build. This is the time where we build.
Yes.
Joe, tell me, am I wrong?
You are absolutely right. You know, this is a unique opportunity for the Black community. And we've suffered. I mean, you know, we're at the brunt end of the impact of COVID. You know, our folks are dying at a greater rate than anyone, with the exception maybe of Hispanics and also Native Americans. But the Black community is taking the brunt of COVID. But you know, right now, there is an opportunity. There is a distinct opportunity in business that most Black business owners that I've spoken to over the last 6 months, they said they've never seen an opportunity like right now. They've never seen it.
Now, Joe, let me shape that opportunity, and you tell me if you can see what I see. So right now, we sell self-growing planters. Nobody else has them in the marketplace. Ours are still the cheapest in the world, grows more food than anybody else, uses soil indefinitely, 98% less water, and it grows it with no human intervention. We're looking for salespeople. We're looking for people who can carve out territories and make it happen. We're looking for partners across the board. We're doing a major partnership with Joel and iBuyBlack. They are our partners. And so as we grow, they grow. That's is that relationship sound pretty fair?
That sounds very fair. You know, that's incredible. It sounds very similar. I don't know if you're familiar with A.G. Gaston out of Alabama.
No, not.
So he was the Black multimillionaire that financed a good part of the civil rights movement. Wow. So when you saw the film Selma and you saw Martin Luther King and he was staying at the hotel, he was staying at A.G. Gaston's hotel. When you saw them and they marched and they rested at a farm overnight, they rested at his farm. So this guy, you know, it's funny because we throw around the term gangster. Mm-hmm. So there was no one more gangster than A.G. Gaston. Let me give you an example of what he did.
This is so exciting. Oh my gosh, go ahead. You're making it sound like a novel. Go ahead, man.
And this is what I see Torpedo Pot, the power that Torpedo Pot has. So when he decided to get into politics, not to run for office, but just to support a candidate, he wanted to support a mayor that he thought was better for Black people than the usual mayors. And so when he decided to do that, they threatened him and said, if any black person votes along with A.G. Gaston, then we're going to call in their mortgage. And so they're going to lose their home. So you can imagine the community was scared. A.G. Gaston was so gangster. He said, no problem. I'll buy everybody's mortgage. That's what I'm talking about. That is the type of power Torpedo Pot brings to the market, and that's what we need.
And I'm gonna cut you off right there. I'm gonna cut you right off there because I don't like the way you're kicking the ball in my court here. I really don't like this. So this is what we're going to do short term, and I'm only going to say this once. I want you to run with this. Our goal of Torpedo Pot with the products that we have now is to build a global, the largest, biggest global black corporation in the history of the world. When we open up our doors for investments, we're going to have it all the way down the line. We want the poorest of us and we want the richest of us to take a part in this. When we monetize this, get your money ready, because that's when we're really going to roll out. And that's when, hey, I'm an old man, so there's going to be a lot of gangsters. Probably Joe will be one. Have to be. Just pray and hope God gives him guidance.
Well, I'll tell you, iBuyBlack. One of the things that I really like about this organization is that it is an infrastructure that really understands the importance of black businesses, supporting black businesses. And one of the things that we started a couple years back was actually an investment club. So at the point you are ready and you will open up, and we would even like to buy, pre-IPO. So when you get there, please absolutely let us know. And these are the type initiatives that the black community can do. Here, we have so many we saw what the sisters did in this last election, the leadership they brought, the brain power they brought.
Thank you.
Organizational skills, the high level of impact to help, assure this country wasn't going to go off the cliff. And so, we take the talent like that, we have, and I'm not going to discount black men. I know a lot of times people like to leave us out of the conversation, but we just have some powerful black men. Both you and I are actually attend the church of one of the most powerful black men in this area.
No question about it. Wow, Joe, that's amazing. When I think about that, that's amazing.
Yeah. So this is a great time for the black community, and it's a great partnership, a great relationship. Torpedo Pot, iBuyBlack, sales opportunities for young folks out here. I have good friends. They own landscaping businesses. Well, now they have a new product they can both sell and they can also install. So here, the same clients they've been servicing for the last couple of years. Now they can just add to those same clients, and you don't even have to go find a new one. You just add, a new product and service to what you're already doing.
The reason why I like you and your organization, because I don't mean to talk about your buddy here, my buddy, and he's your friend, but Mr. Harvey. He brought me into the black scene in Philadelphia, and I've been knocking on his door for a long time, and we just kicked it off pretty well. And and we look at what he's been doing with us and you as a baton for us to move into that Philadelphia. We love you because you love Philadelphia, and your iBuyBlack goes across nationally. And so we love that because you have a local presence, but you also have a national presence. Am I saying anything wrong about that? And that's so beneficial, right? Absolutely.
And I just want to, give out that website again. So, on iBuyBlack, we have our own site, torpedopot.ibuyBlack.org. So that is torpedopot.ibuyBlack.org. You can go there. There's videos that you can see, just like the great one we watched before this this conversation. Different pricing on the pots, and the pots, just from a pricing standpoint. You have a pot that starts. It's a little over $40.
Yeah, we right now, and you're right. It starts with a little over $40. What we did though, we brought on a number of Black distributors in general, but the ones that we brought on were particularly African American. So what we're doing, we're pushing people. You guys know I love you. You're my family, but we need to extend the family further out.
Absolutely.
So I raised the prices because I have to get my distributors to sell my products, because that's the only way I can build the organization.
Right.
And so you'll see some distributors charging a lot for some regions, but for your region, you made it very affordable for people to have it. And so we've seen our prices rise up because we want to bring this business out. But I want to let you know the reason why. But iBuyBlack, go there, get your pots.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Chris, I see you've had a chance to just have a woosah moment.
Yeah.
So do you have a question or two you maybe want to ask Daryl?
Nah, you know what? You highlight, because you know him better, and I'm listening to you guys. Like I'm really interested because I've actually just built a garden on my deck. Okay. And I have not had too much success because sometimes I'm getting those brown leaves and and I'm listening to the science that you put into these pots. I need to hook up with you because I'm building a little waterfall back there. I just moved into my house last year, and I want to get into a lot of plants around the whole entire deck so I can cut myself off from the world.
Well, the problem is that people who want to create that environment, they can't afford to create it. And the second thing is that because we polluted so much of the grounds, those things are no longer sustainable.
Right.
And so when you really look at the plants you're buying and the ones that have to be replaced and the maintenance and everything else, it's so much easier to take a torpedo pot, put your plants in. We have bushes and trees in our plants. Or just put the plant in the ground and do whatever you want to do. You want stuff that continually produces for you. You should never, ever. When I grew in 2 square feet, over 150 to 500 green peppers, people from Senegal were at my door yesterday. We had a meeting of how they can do it in their country. There's nobody does that in the whole world. When you have that and it's being produced over and over, the seeds can be used over. Dude, that's godlike sustainability.
Absolutely.
That's what it was meant to be.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But we have a couple of minutes left before they slide us off of here. So do we have any audience out there have any questions?
I just want to remind the audience that if you are looking for the products, please go to the iBuyBlack site. That is torpedopot.ibuyblack.org. Or if you just go straight to ibuyblack.org and do a search for Torpedo Pot, it'll pop right up. And then you can click on the site and, again, finding different products that are going to best suit what you're trying to grow. And one of the nice things, too, Daryl has produced, his company has produced how-to guides for different industries. So depending on what line of work you're in or what you're trying to achieve, they have it in how-to guide. Again, so you're not wasting time, you're not wasting resources and things like that. And Daryl, in the last minute or so, can you just talk to us a little bit about the cannabis industry? Because that is such a huge industry right now.
Okay, you got 2 minutes.
Okay, I want to thank you. That was a great segue, and I'm glad you opened it up earlier. Let me see if I can shorten it. In the next 2 weeks, we're bringing in a director of cannabis. We have 4 African-American cannabis companies have reached out to us to grow using cannabis. But what's so important, I want my listeners to know, is that I've got a short period of time so I can condense this. When you bring a seed from across seas to the United States, cannabis seed, and you want to watch it grow, the way to destroy a plant is to add fertilizers. Because it's not the seed, it's the fungus that grows the plant. You left the fungus behind, You brought the seed in a new environment and you're throwing fertilizers at it. Take the seed, put it in a torpedo pot. Adjust the water so the plant can come down, get its nutrients, and grow. Give it a biotic environment so your plant can grow. Stop pumping it with what you see other people pumping, and you'll see the taste, the flavor, the color of what you're getting will be far superior, and it will be original.
Wow.
We're working with cannabis dealers right now. We're bringing in a director. We're building a team. We know that's a part of the marketplace that we're losing at, and those who are very interested and connect with us, do it. Do it. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this has been wonderful. I know I've learned a lot. Have you spoken to anyone at Saul High School, which is our agricultural high school here in the city?
No, I haven't. I've spoken at high schools in New Jersey with students, but I never did it in the city. Tell me about it.
So yeah, Saul, we call it the farm school. The only reason I know about it is my oldest brother went there. But yeah, you actually go and you have to work in their farm the summer before you start at the high school. So they teach agriculture at the school. So I think you have a great product and probably have a natural partnership right with a local high school here in the city of Philadelphia.
I've already reached out to a couple of universities. There's a university in Texas we reached out to, a Black university, that got rid of their football department and put in a whole new agricultural space. They're using that agricultural space to not only train their students, but to be able to provide food for the NFL teams.
Wow.
I will partner with anybody who wants to do something like that with Torpedo Pot. I will partner with you. You're creating a school. You're creating to teach people about our technologies that will feed the world, but you're also sustaining yourself with fruits and vegetables. If you have a business plan, we want to know about it.
Okay. That's incredible. All right, so Chris, how are we with time?
Time's up. We're
Time's
about to wrap up. Yep. But that was, I wish she should have extended this one. This was a good conversation.
Yeah, I got it. Keeping up with Joe is tough.
Don't put that on me. Thank you, Chris. Daryl, great to see you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks.